You have to have the patience. You have to find beauty in the process of building something, and find beauty in the journey, and understand that the end result is not really the most beautiful part of it. And so it's having that patience.
I mean, it takes a long time to become an overnight success, right? And I think for the both of us and everybody we know that we admire and who's achieved anything, they've been at this a long time and they've been talking at it. And the point is he practices, he gets better, but he does it out loud. And I think the idea of hiding until it's perfect, it's a fool's game. I think you put yourself out there, you start, you practice out loud, then you get feedback, and you can grow.
You counterpunch. You adjust.
Yeah, you put it out there.
I would say the one thing that you may be referring to that I talk about a lot is it's tough to come out the gate at 22 and say this is the definitive thing. Here's my advice. I think talking to the world about your truth,
what you believe,
correct, is the game.
Is the game.
You know, your point of view on the world and like what you believe and where you come from, that's gold. Your process. That's why I talk a lot about documenting instead of creating. It's just your truth. But I agree with you. I mean, there's no substitute for doing. The amount of people that wait for the perfect thing and then never do anything.
The other thing that's important, I think, is to keep your head down. You know, keep your head down. Like when I swim 25 laps, guaranteed if I look up and start counting those laps, I'm petered out by 15. If I put my head down and keep working away and work at technique, work at internal rhythm, work at I hit that length, I don't even know what length I'm on, guarantee you I'll look up and it'll be 20 and 3 more to go. And that's a very simple device, but I think people find themselves incrementally checking how far they've got. And that, you know, when you compare it to anybody else or whatever, it's just it's a recipe for disaster. Just keep banging on, you know.
How do you spend your time in prison? Well, first 8 months. I spent in solitude 23 hours a day locked down, reading, writing. I wrote a script called Live to Tell.
What's it about?
It's like a semi-autobiography on my life. Half me, half fiction. It's real good. It's my first attempt at really writing a screenplay. I used to always add things to like poetic justice. I added my own words to poetic justice. I wrote whole scenes in Above the Rim. In Juice, I use a lot of my own words. This was the first time that I actually sat down and write a whole script with characters, real live, breathing characters. And so Live to Tell, I did that, worked out, do a little push-ups, calisthenics, read. I read a lot of good books. I read a lot of Maya Angelou's books, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, listen to music, you know, different types of music, calm my soul. Deanna Varys, she really got me through a lot of this time.
You failed. Like, let's just own that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And yes, you should learn from those failures. But the things that I learned through the abuse that I went through were incredibly powerful. I mean, my ability to withstand life, like, good luck knocking me down. Like, that's not an ego or a cocky thing. It's just like, good luck.
I'm on this whole journey of abundant life. What does it take to create an abundant life? First off, and Christy really talked about what are the things that block you from abundance. So she talked about all the things in your past. Now, may I talk about some things to do and create for you? Because I'm a coach. So I'm an action step. Because the antidote to despair is action. The prescription for radical success is action. The difference between you and the person living their dreams that you're watching is simply the amount of action. It's not the hookup, it's not the family they were born into, it's not the gender, it's not the culture. Those are all great stories that we get. But it really is the things they did and how much they were willing to do it. So I want to talk about that because when you look at my life is someone who did not ask for permission. My life is someone who gave notice. And in abundance now, I redefine abundance because we know abundance to be about wealth. Right? And it's time for us to disrupt the definition of abundance. We need to disrupt so that our children, by the time they're able to really think about abundance, they only know it to be a holistic experience. That abundance includes relationships. Abundance includes your spirituality. Abundance includes your health. Abundance is not just about the bottom line at the bank account. Can y'all help me with that? Point number one. And some of this you already know, but repetition is the mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, and cousin of learning. One thing we have to constantly remind ourselves is to create micro wins to get to our macro wins. That we go after the macro win, but we only look at the macro win. I want you to look at the micro wins and get 5 micro wins under your belt so you can create your macro win. Help me down off the stage. I love being a lady. I know I can do it myself, but why? Right. Thank you. For all you ladies that don't know about that, you get that when you get to your 40s. So I want to be closer to you. I'm going to push you a bit. Who are you willing to become at the risk of being seen? Who are you willing to become at the risk of being seen? What are you willing to do at the risk of being wildly successful? What are you willing to say at the risk of being heard by everybody? What are you willing to say at the risk of being heard by everybody? What are you willing to model at the risk that people will follow you?
I want you to think and ask yourself this in your head right now. What defines you? Who are you? Is it where you come from? Is it your background? Is it your friends? What is it? What defines who you are as a person? I would wish and pray and hope and do whatever I could to pray that I would wake up in the morning and I would be different and I wouldn't have to deal with these struggles. It's what I wanted every single day, and every single day I was disappointed. When I was in high school, I found a video, unfortunately, that somebody posted of me, labeling me the world's ugliest woman. There were 4 million views to this video, 8 seconds long, no sound, thousands of comments. People saying, Lizzie, please just do a world a favor, put a gun to your head and kill yourself, playing about it. But then I started realizing, am I going to let the people who called me a monster define me? Am I going to let the people who said kill it with fire define me? So I told myself I'm going to work my butt off and do whatever I could to make myself better, because in my mind, the best way that I could get back at all those people who made fun of me, who teased me, who called me ugly, who called me a monster, was to make myself better and to show them, you know what? Tell me those negative things, I'm going to turn them around and I'm going to use them as a ladder to climb up to my goals.